Hey ho, there she goes, a little too high and a little too low. Got no self-esteem and vertigo, 'cause her lips are made of candy.
Hi, and welcome back to the Get Your Deck Out podcast. We are here, me, Old Emo Dave, as usual, over there or over here, depends where I edit it. 11's MTG. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
Professional as ever, mate. I'm good, mate. I'm good. My knees are hurting. I was at a gig yesterday, moshing away to Architects and Wage War and House of Protection. Shout out House of Protection, by the way. I'd never heard of them before that night, and they were fantastic. They had the guitarist in the middle of a circle pit while playing.
Oh, yes.
Which was absolutely fantastic.
Brave as well. Strong and brave. That I like that.
Yeah.
I say previous experience of, I'm pretty sure wireless guitar technology's probably moved on in the 20 years since I last had one strapped on. But from what I can remember, that was a little bit of a perilous moment, checking yourself into the mosh pit. But that's cool. Yes, we're there. Unfortunately, though, yes, bodily movements and changes means we're more of the podcast generation now, and you are here getting your fill on the latest Magic the Gathering news, tournament updates, and everything in between. And it's been a bit of a weekend of it when we feel quite confident for a change to jump on a Sunday and go over the news, because we had new set information. We've seen Spider-Man go through the floor, and we've also had tournaments galore. Some of our friends and known players having a great one in the final Mega Modern of the series. But the heroes in a half shell were finally revealed, Scott, on Friday. We are getting the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah, I think the biggest discussion point I've seen about it on Reddit was apparently one of them is meant to use a Sai as a weapon, and it's been pictured with a Jite. And that is apparently cause for major concern when, let's be real, this kind of stuff is probably dictated to them by Nickelodeon.
Absolutely
not going to be WotC just going, we'll just do it this way. That's not the way that these things work. But I'll be interested to see if we actually get these cards on Magic Online and Arena. I hope so. But
we don't know about this particular one, do we? Because although we've been told about the Marvel stuff that will be through the Omen Pass, this wasn't specifically referenced. If it was in the comments, tell us, because we missed it.
Yeah, it looks like Nickelodeon are more chill with Avatar, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that sort of thing. I don't know, is Avatar Nickelodeon?
Yeah, it is. Right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so they seem to be more relaxed with it being on online clients. I mean, with Marvel, it makes sense. Marvel Snap is a game that exists and is quite popular, although apparently that's having its problems as well. It feels like every TCG just has problems. I think everything I hear about it is just like negative. So it makes me feel like Magic's actually thriving and it's just people complaining.
You're not actually wrong. As someone who's very directly adjacent to the Hearthstone space, like, I've seen almost everyone jump ship from there, and actually they just announced a new expansion. Keeping my eye on, I've gone, oh, that's cool. They've might have finally seemed to have gone way too far into the money grab. They did release a $100 like companion pets. So, like the ones we get on Arena, like to the side, and like you get like little free ones to the left, like sparky things and little little things. Right,
there was like, the bear that like sat around the battlefield, and it was initially a glitch, and then they just thought, no, we'll just leave it. The bear's cute.
Well, they made their first one of those customizable, and they put it first of all, they put it
$100.
Well, they put it in a loot box, and the only way you could guarantee it was basically spending $100 on a loot box. So that enough of I think that broke the camel's back in that game, and they're having to sort of really like step it back. I think I've seen other games basically there, and yeah, you're right. I almost feel a little bit like are we getting Hasbroized rather than UBIzed, which I think is sort of a really relevant.
I mean, I'd say yes. I don't think the issue is that UB is like inherently bad. And I think now we're looking back on Lord of the Rings and going, do you remember how good that was? And when Lord of the Rings was first announced, a lot of people, me included, and my partner, who's a huge fan of Lord of the Rings and Magic, was looking at it like, I'm not sure they have to do it right. I want them to like do it this way, that way. People got upset that they race bent characters or whatever, but that's just current world situation enables people to think that they can speak like that and not have any repercussions. But hey ho, that's again a different conversation for a different time about the state of the world. But
we've seen it again though with the April O'Neil discussion. So we've seen a couple of cards so far, and from what we know, this is again the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or the TMNT universe. I'm going to say that. Like, I feel like I'm going to address them by their full canon all the way. Otherwise, that's we're seeing the Nickelodeon in universe out of the original April O'Neil, which, if for those who are as old as me, remember as a gingery lady with a yellow really tight leotard thing, which was definitely inappropriate for its day.
Something for the dads.
Yeah, or
one of them.
Yeah. Who cares? Like, it's like the cards. You again should be remembering and playing the cards. We saw a few little teasers of the cards. Can you name one what we mainly saw about? There's a really cool, like, quote unquote fixed Wheel of Fortune. I thought that was an interesting looking card. Where it sees play, not sure, but it at least was fun design.
With cards this far out, we're not going to see the whole set. This is coming out after Lorwyn, which is coming out after Avatar.
3 sets time.
Yeah,
3 sets time.
Avatar is next month. So it feels weird to say that, we've got a month and 9 days before we can all play with Dragon Moose or whatever. But that's actually quite a long time nowadays, as much as it upsets me to say it. I wish we could have 2-3 months to actually draft and digest sets, but we don't anymore. That's just the reality of it. And it, like, if this is the reason why you stop playing the game, then we get it. Like, we understand as long-term players. We definitely understand. It's not our breaking point. We're kind of committed to this at this point. We're 2 white guys with a podcast, so
we got stickers.
We've got stickers, and people definitely need to hear our opinions. But yeah, Avatar looks fun. I've seen some Lorwyn cards; they look fun. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's the second set in the New York block, where we're going to be on New York more often than like Magic in Universe planes. It feels like, but hey, who am I to judge?
Do you know a brilliant thing I've seen again on the internet sphere this weekend was there's one of the more prominent judges who looks after the New York Pauper League. I'm looking for their tweet now, but they will come up as soon as I actually don't need it later. They're ironically doing a New York block constructed event because obviously they are in New York, but I was also like, that is just incredible. That is
very cool.
And they've actually at tweeted Wizards about like, can you get this a PT invite? And you know what? If they want to like take community sentiment, give them one. Just give them one.
Yeah, just like
screw it. Like, make it worth it.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, which whether you think this is a Wizards of the Coast design decision, I'll clue you in, it's almost definitely not, or a Hasbro decision to do all these crossover sets and functionally just print money, which is what UB sets traditionally have been doing. It's rare that they've not gone well. Lean into it. Like, if someone's doing New York block constructed, give them that PT slot or give them like RC invites for it. Lean into it and say, look, if you're going to engage with UB how you want to engage with it, which is whether that's they're doing Pauper or they're just doing straight block constructed, whatever. That's the kind of thing that they need to lean into. And I feel like recently Wizards have struggled to laugh at themselves a little bit.
100%.
Where Like the other game that I play religiously is RuneScape. I've mentioned it a couple of times. I play old school RuneScape, and one thing that's unique or fairly unique to Jagex as a company and as a game design company is they're aware of the memes in their own game. They reference them. They laugh at themselves, and it really connects them with the player base, and it makes you feel like, well, yeah, maybe the overlords at the top of the company who are just trying to maximize the bottom line profit margin don't care, but the people working in the company do care, and it shows that. And so recently, so far, all we've got is when they're talking about bans or when they're talking about when formats are literally broken, and they're saying, oh yeah, we can't ban anything for another 2 months because of XYZ reason. If that's the only interaction you get with someone past Maro vehemently defending things on Bloggertog on Tumblr, you feel disconnected as players from the designers. And you look at the people who work for Wizards, they've all been playing the game forever. They all really love this game, and you can tell that they are doing their best. When you look at like Edge of Eternities, for example, if that was by itself in a vacuum, ironic, but not surrounded by UB crap on both sides, the pre-release wasn't overshadowed by Spider-Man previews, it would be heralded as one of the best sets of all time.
Do you know?
It's had the right amount of constructed impact, and limited format was brilliant.
Do you know, I actually looked at it earlier today because they will come on to Spider-Man prices shortly, but I looked at... I want to get one Ouroboros. I've had a good weekend playing the standard challenges. I want to finish a deck off. And then whilst I was there, it's like, and I could do with a Riddler. I could do with a Quantum Riddler. But then I was like, I ordered down like the Edge of Eternities list. There's like 15 bangers that are basically fetching about £10 a card, but and also playable.
Stuff like weapons manufacturing. It's like €2, and it's like picked up. Is it Affinity as a modern archetype? Like, and the card's sick. It's really good. It's really good fun. Really well designed, and it's perfect for what they should be doing because it's cool design space. It's honestly, Edge of Eternities was an absolute banger of a set, but it just gets completely overshadowed by people complaining.
One as well that they talk about booster fund. They want us opening product, and that's where they make the money. And we will always say buy singles. It'd be probably one of the few boxes I'd even consider right now. And if I had money to burn on card, I'd even potentially just go pick one up and open one. Because not only would I have potentially the hits, the greatest hits that I want to get, Shocklands, everything like that.
Ancient Tomb.
There's plenty of high rolls, and also there's plenty of tradables, and even like some reasonable uncommons, commons, which are starting to really pick up play and be good. And it's a real shape. But the other spoiler to that is non-stock anyway. That's how good it is, right? Whatever the print, unless the print one was ridiculously low or people were barraged into buying more Final Fantasy so they could get more allocation. I'm not sure the politics of that, but you literally can't go on any website. You can't go on any like big box store. Like you could go on Game and potentially have them send you 3 or 4 packs. You can't get you can't get it anywhere. And shows how good it was, and that is great Magic set. That's a great Magic play booster experience. It's actually a really fun limited format as well. Like
it was really good at the Pro Tour as well.
So like, unfortunately, the bookends, the Final Fantasy overhype and the Spider-Man underhype has made a fantastic set really just get overshadowed.
Yeah, but like the standard is still awful, and I know you did well in the standard metagame challenge. You had blue-green dudes for one, and then you were playing blue-red, essentially Vivi-less Vivi, with just Profts and Winter Night Stories and Riddlers and stuff. These decks look like interesting. They're cool, but I feel like if all they do is ban Soul Cauldron or Vivi, you're still going to have the problem where standard is like 80% red decks, and
Nemesis gotta go. Profs gotta go. I think.
Whether it's Nemesis or whether it's something like Hired Claw, I'm not sure, but I feel like I would in November hit something from the red decks as well, just to try and level the playing field off a little bit. But it's so unlikely they're going to ban multiple cards when this is functionally an emergency ban window.
Yeah.
But I feel like Standard's just not going to be playable until we get to the new like full ban thing. And then they're probably going to have another 10 cards that they need to ban.
I feel you're right, and I think the longer term shifts there, see, they went to the 3-year shift, but they probably at that time when they went to the 3-year shift had the longer term shift of let's move to the January window. So like everyone not forgetting, we are 14 months away from the next rotation. So we are a full year away. And so
at this point, just bring extended back. Just turn what is currently standard into extended, because then you're allowing there to be the more expensive decks, the more busted decks, because people are walking into standard and they're not expecting to die on turn 3.
Yeah,
because they always said, modern's a turn 4 format, and currently modern is sometimes much later than a turn 4 format. It's really intricate, it's really interactive, it's really good, in my humble opinion. Standard, all the interaction sucks, all the threats are too good, and you can only play red decks.
Yeah, this kind of, I saw this in the metagame challenges as well this weekend, and I like them because I feel like they're very good. Get your head down and get yourself in RCQ mode. So ultimately, if you're on the pod, you probably should know this by now, but just go through, and in most RCQs, you're going to play a 5-round Swiss and you're going to play a 3-round top 8. Sometimes it's a 5-round Swift and a top 4. So essentially, a 7 to 8 rounds. In theory, you want to go unbeaten. Now, obviously, you can usually give up 1 loss in the first 5 there. But in theory, you want to be tuned in, locked in enough that you're going to go up against everything with the deck that you've got, and you're going to win all your best of 3. So I love that prepping. The other good thing about that prepping is, despite how well metagamed you are, you're talking about somewhere between 10 and 20 of your local metagame people that you know and that you love. And you also talk people who are going to be taking a mega shot with a deck they've borrowed off a friend, a pile they've put together to make up the numbers, and you still need to beat that. What you find you get in the metagame challenge is you do get Johnny Go Nightly, who's just been playing Arena. They've saved up about 10k gold. They've wungled their way into the bottom of Platinum, and they're really, really proud of their 3-color pile that they've put together with some kind of a life gain combo strategy. Not even playing any shock lands yet because they don't want to waste their rare wild cards, and they hit go on that 2,000 goal because, hey, that's cool, it's just 2 packs. And then they run into me playing profs, and I absolutely shit on them before turn 4. And I feel bad because I almost feel like if whilst you want to protect effectively the new player experience of people joining standard, they almost need to say, you sure you want to use? Are you sure you're ready for this? Because
your deck does not have enough rares and mythics in it to compete in this.
Yeah, and it's going to be the same with these precons. Great, the spell snares in there. I've actually seen the actual list right now. It's a real bog standard pirate aggro shitter, right?
It's not a good deck. That's the thing, and.
So what we like, what are we setting people up for if standard's going to be this high powered? Is
a 1-3 at best,
because that one is they had the buy in round 2, and so like it's great sentiment where we're going towards, but we really need to think that
they need to turn it up. They can't. They've said time and time again they're not going to do master sets for a while. That's fine. Where are the reprints coming then? How are you getting these cards into people's hands? When are we next going to see Quantum Riddler printed? When are we next going to see Mox Opal printed? I I had a pre-order set up for Quantum Riddlers at €14 each. I cancelled it, which I regret now because I've now had to buy 4 of them to play Gorios. But when are they next going to be reprinted? What is stopping Quantum Riddlers going to €80? If they continue to see play all over Modern, all over Standard, Rip Pioneer, but when are we next going to see this card printed? Because it being a one-of in a Commander deck in 3 years isn't good enough. So they need to, if you're going to release pre-constructed decks, at least make them vaguely competent. At least put a Steam Vents and a Starting Town and a Quantum Riddler and a Profts in it. Maybe not Profts if you're going to ban it, but
yeah.
Put that in there. And it doesn't matter if you ban Quantum Riddler in Standard, then it sucks, but it's at least going to still be a valuable card. And if someone buys this pre-constructed deck and they sit down and they're playing it, your F&M, just let them play the Quantum Riddler.
The thing is, the argument that these are all going to get swallowed up by scalpers is like a really false, like, vacuum argument.
But even that drops the price.
Yeah, like the big problem is cards in people's hands, isn't it? Like, that's
also print more of them.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, the scalpers bought all of our basically infinite resource. It's cardboard. Print more of it.
Yeah.
But exactly. Final Fantasy's being bought up by scalper. Print more of it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you never, like, ultimately you never ever see the, like, Pokemon stuff, like, not getting printed. You don't not see it in your local One Stop or in your local Premier store. Like, the packs fly out, they get opened, they get played with. Their game thrives through all of the scalping because they're actual playable cards to the actual TCG, which any given weekend is 1,500 people playing the equivalent of a GP event. Their main decks are 60, 70 quid, 100 quid tops. So, like, yeah. And they've still got 2K, 3K cards. Like, I even was kicking myself the other day because I remember during COVID, we were like, I was taking the dog for a walk. This was my daily almost. Take a dog for a walk. About a mile on my walk, there was this shop which was still selling Pokemon cards. You go in with your mask. I pick up 2 packs. I remember opening Evolving Skies left, right, and center. Sealed packs of that. It's only 4 or 5 years ago. $15 for like a pack. Not even like just a loose pack. Booster boxes are 500 quid. Mad. It's mad. But you know why that is? Because there's a certain...
Because people want it. And they do old arts in the right way. But then they also will reprint stuff.
Yeah.
Like they did the 151 collection or whatever it was, where they like reprinted some of the older packs to like put more of those cards out in the environment. Are they as collectible? No, of course they're not. If you want to collect the original, go collect the original. If you want these cards to play with, then now you've got an accessible version. Final Fantasy do it as well. All the full arts, like mega money. All the standard arts, nothing.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
We in our local store, we have a massive Final Fantasy player base, and like there is just like 2 levels of bulk there. I remember saying to one of the players recently, like, I bet I can't make a deck from that. 5 minutes later, they had 45 cards. Like you're like 8 cards away from there, and like I got so. I was like, shit, this is incredible. Like you lot just don't keep anything. Like you don't need to. You don't need to because
if you're chucking £5 away, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like because you're chasing your 500 quid promo for winning something, which like is crazy. But we had an opportunity with Spider-Man to do that. We had an opportunity to really start like leaning into some of these reprints. We have seen. We look at like there is still bonus sheets. I know we saw like, for example, a Goblin bombardment, but we are seeing this habitual Commander staple crossover £5 to £10 card reprints rather than necessarily constructed staple reprints. And maybe maybe we're a set or two away from it. I don't know, but it is just something I will probably now be one of my additional call outs is how many versions of heroic intervention do we need to see? If anyone from that side of the team basically came, I'll sort of like take the dummy argument, and they'll probably say we're reprinting it a lot because it's a commander staple and it needs to be $1 or $2. I'd say okay. But this is the Pokemon argument, right? Of yes, basic art heroic interventions will be $1 or $2 if there was basic art heroic interventions available. Because
all you've got is a cacophony of random shite.
Yeah, which will forever hold a premium. Like I'll hold my hands up; they're in the bulk box here, ready to go for Liverpool, and I am taking Orzhov Greasefang with the dump trucks, right? And the dump trucks cost me infinitely more money than 4 Parhelion. So if I lose it, the dump truck will be up on the short right now. That card, I loved it because it was unique for what I like to do with my Greasefang deck. But we'll see. But it's still definitely a leak that we have, is that the reprints that are coming are not necessarily reprints that are going to help constructed formats in the abundance that they should. I even saw it on Eternal Weekend. This is Eternal Weekend America this weekend. It looks like people had a great time. Even Legacy. I'm a 5-year Magic player now, the give or take, right? And card pool, card resources I can say I've had access to. I could build some Legacy decks, which blew my mind based on stuff that I've seen in my time during Magic. Only issue there is the elephant in the room, the reserve list lands, isn't it? Like, and I even sort of at an argument there of like, I don't even think the reserve list stuff would lose their price if you suddenly did a SpongeBob SquarePants version of them, or you did a Hey Arnold version, or whatever kind of like crossovers we've got left in us that like, place.
People have talked about the reserve list over and over and over again, and I think at this point they're just not going to go back on it. Just full stop. Yeah, they're just not willing to take that genie out the bottle again after the whole from the vault thing with I think it was Mox Diamond, where they reprinted it in a limited time thing and people lost their minds. But it's been that long where you just can't change it at this point. But like, I was looking at playing pre-modern. I need intuitions and null rods for that. Intuitions are like 140 euros each. Yeah, null rods are 70-ish.
Yeah.
So, and those are like niche cards. Intuition, I imagine it's really good in Commander. I don't know. I don't really care. I imagine null rods at least okay. But if you reprint these cards, the original versions are still going to be expensive. There's nothing that's going to stop an alpha Lotus being the price it is.
Yeah, that's the collectible.
Even if I can go and get a secret lair Lotus, because then I can actually play vintage with my friends, where instead we're just getting new cards upon new cards upon new cards upon new cards. They're all going to be collectible, quote unquote. Like, how much I have this Gwen Stacy. Opened it from our draft. How much is it?
£7?
30 euros.
No way. Isn't the bait? Because it's like it's the alt art foil.
It's not foil. I imagine the reason is because it's Gwen Stacy with her belly button out, and you people out there, the gooners listening to this, absolutely can't help yourselves. Same reason Tifa's still money despite being unplayable and everything. But I mean, we've been sidetracked from talking about teeny mutant Turtles now, but it's all in the same vein, isn't it? Where it's just, you could be doing a lot of things that are a lot better than this.
Yeah.
They don't need to be standard legal. Lord of the Rings is still a beloved set, and it's not standard legal. It never has been.
Yeah.
people play Lorien Revealed in Pauper, and I think Lorien Revealed is a phenomenally designed card. I think now people have got over Orcish Bowmasters being powerful. It is a well-designed card. It punishes the right people who are sitting there doing nothing but drawing cards. The One Ring was a violent mistake, but there we are.
Yeah, there was some really great niche middle cards as well, like Lembus, for example. Like that was
Lembus, Generous Ent, Reprieve.
It's the Battlehorn one, the 2 mana, make a guy, give your creatures haste, call the Battlehorn or raid the Battlehorn or
Rally at the Hornburg.
Rally at the Hornburg, that's the one.
I was running through my draft ticker tape in my head.
So and you could have that could have been, and I'm sure I won't call them out because obviously ultimately like they were a very good source usually, but it was a source within the creator community who was like, no, it's okay. I've heard that this will be a commander set, and this is why. And there was a couple of indicators. I was like, okay, cool. I'll trust in this, but we're gonna get a 5-color Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles commander deck, and
a full set.
The ticker tape parade is going to wash this in. Unfortunately, I think that means then we're going to see a Lorwyn set that threatens to be fantastic, like again, wash under the carpet. And we're going to see a sequence of Strixhaven, which is just going to be a damp squid release after the Turtles come out. So, will it still suffer the same fate as Spider-Man? We don't know, because obviously we've seen this weekend, obviously then the Mega Modern was...
Can't sell a Spider-Man box for 40 quid or something?
Yeah, so Spider-Man boxes are now flooding the UK market. The Mega Modern from Axion did really well this weekend, 117 players. Really decent for like a mid-set end of season piece in the middle of London, which is probably cost most people double the price of ticket to get to, but that's UK's travel problems, nothing to do with Axion's choice. What they had on the docket was that the majority of people's prizing was going to be Spider-Man box sets, or more adjacently, you could get Spider-Man box with your prize tickets. We have seen across the trade groups already this weekend, people basically offering, started at 100. I've even just seen a post a few minutes ago where someone's offered it at 85. Sealed. Just crazy that this so-called premium priced box can't shift toffee, and I think this screams for they made it. All the design mistakes ring true, all of the card choices ring true. It's not a very good experience, whatever the canon, whatever the lore, whatever the visuals. I can't wait to move. I'm so glad we've moved on. I'm so glad of the LSV limited resources nod to with Spider-Man in our rearview mirror 1 week after release. Like people are doing flashback drafts in 3 times the volume than they are doing Spider-Man drafts on Arena. Yeah. There's not a Spider-Man card on MTGO over a ticket right now. It's like really, really bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not gonna. Even if it was a really good set, it's not gonna fix standard. But I think it's just gonna exacerbate people's feelings of disillusionment with standard.
Yeah,
where they might come into the game going, "Oh, I really like Spider-Man. What deck can I play with Spider-Man cards?" Nothing. You can play 2 Multiversal Passage in Vivi, maybe. That's it.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Like that land, and that land is literally all you want to hit if you open the box right now. In reality,
I've got 1 Spider Sense in my sideboard. Why? Sometimes it's good.
Yeah, not like it's busted. Yeah, I know. It's a crazy one. There's been some niche fun things happen. There's been a Pioneer 5-color like Rona combo deck using a lot of the spiders to do infinite life gain, infinite spell tax.
Oh yeah, because you can go infinite with the 1-mana web sling guys with Relica Legends, right?
Yeah, but also, just a little warning, Claudio, who did this, is a fantastic next level player, and most of us are not. So please don't waste your royal cards and stuff like that, because that probably isn't really good outside of the Pioneer one-time challenge that was played in. So, yeah, Spider-Man, for this podcast as well, I think we both are in agreement part of this. This is now in our rearview mirror. Other than when I bring the Infinity Gauntlet home for winning the Spotlight Series Liverpool, there'll be no other need or mention for anything in Spider-Man because it's all a bit shit.
Yeah, basically.
So let's go on to Mega Modern. Yes, Mega Modern was there this weekend, and Modern is healing our constructed format lives. It is doing really, really well. I like the gameplay. You like the gameplay. There's definitely something for everyone. There was actually, ironically, before this, a bit of this tournament weekend was, yeah, but can't really play control. That's the only problem. There's 2 control decks in the top 16. So, like,
yep,
straight up old school Azorius control, as it works. In the top 8, we had 7 out of 8 decks, different archetypes. And before we even say, if you cast the game or you talk about the game, you must be good about the game. Because who took second place? Mr. Will Hall himself. Will Hall Experience dropping in a full day of streaming. That also needs to be added. Someone who did it myself recently, in nowhere near the scale that 7 rounds of the top 8 is. Going the whole day through, taking second place on Esper mid-range. It was won by Sam Hudson on the Hotness, as we would necessarily call it, is it Affinity. And it's just some beautiful, beautiful takeaways from what we saw this weekend.
Yeah, it's just a really nice little display of what you can play in Modern, where you've got Eldrazi Blood Chief combo, Brood Scale.
Yeah, Brood Scale.
You've got Azorius control splashing red, Belcher blue-white control, Titan, Gorio's, Titan, 3 people on Gruul Eldrazi. And I was actually looking at these because one of them is Autumn Bachette, Mythic Championship 1 winner. And I was actually looking at these lists, and they are pretty interesting, actually. There's a nice little mixture, basically, of Ugin's Labyrinth, Eldrazi Temple, while playing 4 Ice Till Explorer. You've got something like Spawn, you've got 13 Mana Emrakul, Syra 7 Deaths, Ugin, just lots of stuff going on there as well. Mono Green Eldrazi from one Gavin Thacker, who absolutely couldn't stop winning because shout out Full Fire also won an RCQ
just when
the day after. Just
decided because Gavin is from, not to dox him, but the more like the middle of the UK. So I think just decided on my way home I'll stop in Gloucester.
Stop in Gloucester, win an RCQ, carry on home.
Second one of the season, so obviously his invite passes down, but full fire TCG in Gloucester will still be the best prizes available in the UK. So like, what a legend.
It's worth winning.
And he also wins an invitational seat, our invitational, which is just basically the reason he went. We sent him a little DM. It's like, I spiked the invitational seat, and I also got great prizes. So, like, GG, like, you know, like what a result.
But that's why we're doing the invitational, right? Is get people out, get people playing, keep paper magic going, give people a reason to compete and a reason to really maximize everything.
Yeah, the Gruul Eldrazi list that you're talking about, we can see Autumn. Like I don't think this is the actual. No, this is the final standings. So I guess that means Autumn lost in the quarters, but or in the first round of the top 8. But also you've got Asker coming in at just missing a 9th place. They're effectively testing partners, so like they're absolutely onto something. Again, both definitely. I know this will be up on Autumn's Patreon, and we'd probably say like if you chose once again Modern, you can literally hone a deck down to the actual teeth of it. And do your research though. Do your homework.
The best example of pick a deck, hone yourself on it, really learn how it plays against everything. Top 4, mono blue merfolk.
Yes.
Just send it.
So if anyone has watched the Axiom blog, Percy is the really tall dude who put somebody else on his shoulders in the top of Axiom after like spiking out. They were just messing around, and there's a shot where it's me, you, Percy, and I look like I'm 12 but with no hair because of the height difference. But yeah, incredible. What a result.
And then the other top 4 deck was, haha, you're so funny, you labeled your deck Azorius Yawgmoth. It's just blue-white control. And to all competitive players out there,
yeah, please don't do that.
Just stop naming your deck weird shit. It just messes up with data and scraping. You're not cool. You're not funny. Oh, but I'm just doing it to troll. It's like, yeah, but it's not even like an effective troll. You're just annoying. Like, it's not even like, oh, that's kind of funny. It's an Azorius Yawgmoth deck. It's just annoying. But all that being said, the list is very clean, and I do actually quite like it.
Yeah, really. They went and defeated in the Swiss. They were Will's loss at the time. Yeah, like there was just clean controlling Magic.
Yeah, Narset Days, Teferi Time Raveler, Scepter Chant, Solitude, 1 Jace the Mind Sculptor, 1 Teferi Hero of Dominaria. They're as bad as I am, where they've just got to get it in there. But yeah, it's a clean list. The 1 Disruptor Flute in the sideboard, which was played by Patsy at the Pro Tour, which I begrudgingly bought a Disruptor Flute so I could play this deck. It was fine. It was okay with how I played it. But simultaneously, alongside the Mega Modern, today we got the Mox deck list. Have you seen these?
No, because that is ongoing as we speak. So
8 players in this, right? 4 are playing Izzet Affinity.
Yeah, like, obviously, King of Controversial Memes Doomway posted the whole Office one with like Hogak and a Kappa Kennedy next to each other. We won't go too much into that because I think that again is very much on the borderline of clickbait and slop, and it's like
I don't think it's on any borderline. I think it's just straight up wrong. But there we are.
But we know it's mainly for clicks because obviously, like, we are seeing a mega spike in Affinity's play rate. Should we start sounding the alarm, Scott, for what you're seeing and what you're feeling, or are people just not adjusted yet?
It's the Mox. It's a very, very inbred event. Normally, there's like 2 or 3 testing teams in it total. Mm-hmm. Or there's one person just doing their own thing. You've got Broodscale is one deck, Blue White Blink is one deck, and it's basically the Gabe Nassif deck from the Pro Tour, near enough. You've got Yuki Ishikawa playing Esper Blink with 4 Consign in the main board. That's quite nice. And then the 4 Izzet Affinity decks are basically all the same. Sorry, the weird thing about this Broodscale deck, there's 4 Vexing Bauble in the main. So that shows how weird it is. And yeah, the Izzet Affinity decks are exactly what you'd expect. The one that I did briefly want to talk about, and I will send you this list if you don't have it, David, is what Nathan Stoyer's playing. So this is a Jeskai control deck with Teferi Time Raveler.
Yeah.
No Orange Chant, no Scepter, no Narset, no Days.
I've seen this, yeah, and I've seen
Philia, Flage, Quantum Riddler, Ephemerate, Gaming.
The hotness seems to be because Flage, I won't say Flage fallen off the map, but Flage definitely has seen a drop in play rate. But the Flage Solitude Philia sort of combination play, and yes, the big thing being with Riddler, isn't it? Like Riddler brings subtlety into the mix, so this is clean. And also, like, you know, for someone like me who's not necessarily a control mage, so to speak, it would let me play control with creatures. Like I did really well with the standard Jeskai Dragon list, so kind of gives that sort of the same vibe off. I love what's going on here. And again, like just a little cheeky one of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I hope he has a Store Champs one. I really do.
Even though the Mox is online only, but
true.
It's Quantum Riddler is just, it fixed so many things with these pitch elementals, where for a long time Solitude was seeing, I wouldn't say no play, but it was seeing less than we've seen at its peak when we had Up the Beanstalk and Omnath running around, or the Yorion decks, take your pick. But so I played Goryo's, our weekly modern. I have the entire deck, Sons, 4 Riddlers. I borrowed 4 Riddlers. I ordered them in the middle of round 3, where I was just playing the deck and I'd sideboarded. My opponent was still sideboarded, and I was like, you know what? I just went on Card Market, ordered 4. It was unbelievably good.
Yeah.
Like, I was drawing 12 cards in a turn sometimes, where you're like, cool, warp a Riddler, trigger on the stack, ephemerate it, draw 2, discard a card to my Psychic Frog, draw 2. Like, it's... And again, it's what we were saying about Edge of Eternities, right? Where Edge is just a sick set, where this is the kind of thing that came out of it, where... Is it too powerful? No, it's not too powerful.
No, because sometimes it can be stuck in your hand, right? Exactly. Or sometimes you've got no...
It's right in that window.
Yeah, sometimes you've not got the you've not got the agency to do anything with it. Like
sometimes you don't have time.
Yeah, like I from playing with this weekend, and obviously you playing in standard, you're playing Splash Portal to try and sort of do your own little scam thing. But like very often, like you don't have the agency to do that. But it's like but when it's perfect, it's perfect. Once you've discarded like a Winter Night Stories, and on 3 you can warp it over 3 mana, you can warp it in and then draw 4. Oh, that's hot. But like you have to like have like the balance. So yeah, no, just a great thing. And I love the sideboard plan. Almost makes this into Boros energy without the energy in a way. Like
it's similar to how Jendrak was building these decks. Mm-hmm. With Jeskai Flage, essentially.
Yes, yeah.
It is pretty similar, but then it's got the Philia and the Riddlers instead of like the 4 Consult the Star Charts or however many that Jendrak was playing. Which I did speak to Jendrak about that when they came down from Mega Modern. I had played the deck, had some feelings, spoke to him, and we had a nice back and forth. So shout out to them if they are listening. I can't think why they would be, but hey ho. Modern just looks absolutely sick. There's 50 decks you can play. Yeah, there are better ones, there are worse ones, whatever. But just if you know Merfolk really well and you're good at playing Merfolk, sleeve it up. You might top 4 Mega Modern.
You can play Prowess, you can play whatever you want. You can play... There's 27 unique archetypes registered for this, which in a 117 person event... like is great. Also on the basis, like, and sort of like for everyone's takeaway, this isn't a random online thing that costs 2k gold to enter, right? You are paying £60, or which is around about 80 American dollars, right, to enter this thing. And yes, to get to the center of London, on average, every person here probably spent at least another $70, possibly even $100 to get there. So these are gamers, right? So if they were picking best decks and only best decks, and that's all they had action to, this had been a standard event, we would have seen 5 decks.
Or you have people down the bottom where it's just singular decks, whereas here we have some singular decks. where you've got Boros Wildfire, Simic Ritual, Living End, Burn, Is It Wizards, Heliod Company, and Creativity, random stuff like that. But up the top, we've got a nice little spread. You've got Reanimator, Titan, Affinity, Boros, Blue White Control, Belcher, Esper Blink, Eldrazi Ramp, Prowess, all with a similar amount of matches. Is It Prowess has 28 matches, so that's going to be about 4 players.
Yeah.
And Espagorio's has 74, that's what, 9 or 10 players.
Yeah.
So it's a really flat situation. Boros Energy, again, sub 50% win rate, by the way.
And do you feel it's time for evolve or die for Energy in respect?
No. It does what it does, and it does it fine, where it beats the ever-loving shit out of every fair deck, where looking at their win rate, like Matrix, they were 50-50 into Affinity, which they could make that matchup better if they wanted to. They lost a lot to Goryo's, but again, that's the thing with Boros, right? Is if you want to fix a matchup, generally you can do quite a lot of work towards fixing it, where it's so modal and you can do so much with just the red and white cards around that core of what's the core? The core is essentially Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride, Ajani, Flage, Bombardment, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where maybe we see less Voice of Victories because Belcher also registered a 44% win rate here. So Belcher's obviously going to be on the downturn a little bit. It's not winning as much since the Pro Tour. People have been really ready for it. So maybe we play less Voice of Victories, but then that might be what's holding the Azorius Control matchup together. And if this event's anything to go by, Control's getting more popular. So it's hard to say, evolve or die with a modern deck, because modern decks are always going to evolve. They just are.
Yeah, I've just so in our little chat, I just linked to one, and something Pygonti recently posted where, and this is where I bring up sort of like the evolve argument. Like it's the same shell, but trying to bring the scam element back in with the Solitudes.
Yeah, so this is Boros Energy with 4 Voice of Victory, but we're playing 2 Ephemerate, 1 Helia Guided by Light, 2 Witch Enchanters, an Exalted Sunborn, and 4 Solitudes. I don't really understand why we've cut Ragavan. That seems like a huge loss.
This is my thoughts. Is that like this makes sense to win a league for content reasons, but at the same time, do we really need to change? Do we really need to change that much?
It's not miles away from Gabe Nassif's blue-white blink deck, but playing red cards instead of blue cards, if that makes sense, where you lose your Consign to Memories, you lose your Quantum Riddlers, but you gain Goblin Bombardment, Flage, Galvanic Discharge, that sort of thing. So I don't think it's necessarily better or worse. It's just different. And that's the thing, is there are some cores of groups of cards you can play, right? Where you can play Voice of Victory, Goblin Bombardment, you can play Ocelot Pride, Guide of Souls. It's not weird to see people trying to move around in the space. This is normally what happens with standard decks. But people just don't care about standard, so we're doing it with modern, even though we haven't got a modern RCQ season for another 8 months.
Ages. Sticking on like the evolve or die argument, we've seen the evolution of Zoo to bring in Riddler, but again, I think that's not necessarily. It was almost like a no-brainer that, hey, you could play 5 color basically for free in that deck, or at least 4 color,
yeah, 4 colors a lot easier than 5 color.
And sort of like the slight change in the metas allowed you to sort of like lean back into like the Wilder Cattles and things like that. So Young Dingo literally won the challenge today with this, which and it won also the same 75 won the challenge the day before. So Modern stays the same. You can iterate,
same but different.
Yeah.
Same but different. Almost always. Where this week Affinity's winning 60%. That's what the Matrix from the Mega Modern says. Next week, everyone shows up with Wrath of the Skies and Meltdown, and it wins 12%.
Let's not light the beacons. Let's not light the beacons. Let's make smart meta choices as we go.
Sorry, no. Is it Affinity? Is literally Hogak. It needs to be emergency banned immediately. Kappa Cannoneer is worse than Nardu and Hogak put together because I'm playing a bad deck and I can't answer it.
Next time. On power creep. No.
That was an indirect call out, shall we say?
No, I think yeah. Let's just chill out with Modern. It's pretty decent. Yeah. It's good viewing as well. This is the other thing I'd say. I probably sat through about 4 hours of Will's content coverage, not as a mod, purely because it was great gameplay. Like the different matchups we were seeing. We're gonna go away from this and we're gonna go away and watch more Modern this on. It's just a super good place. It's a real shame that we're not transitioned into an RCQ season for Modern right now, but let's see if they surprise us with bans. I think this might be one of those ones where we jump on live when the ban window happens, because I think I want to be shocked like we were for the last one, and I want to dissect it, and I want to get excited again.
I think we are going to be disappointed, but
I don't want to be. Yeah, I don't want. I feel like got up to if they learned a lot from that was. They were basically right, other than leaving Vivi live, which we even said it back there. We even said, take a Cauldron because this is going to be a problem. And they never did.
I mean, I also, at the time, did say, wait and see. But that's with a mental image of you need to be more ready to ban things that are ruining the format. And if you see, I guarantee they've seen attendance go down. Our RCQs, we've seen attendance go down. It's down across the board.
Well, Fire Shoes is reporting today, like somewhere where he's been with an 128 person pre-release, just had 4 people for a standard RCQ today.
Yeah. Just fix your fucking format. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, why? I understand why we're waiting until a set date. That's fine. I get that. And in fact, I might even support that, as weird as that sounds, where for the next month we've got a lame duck format. That's fine. It is what it is. People have paid to buy Vivi. Let people play with Vivi for the time that you said that they were going to be allowed to play with it. And if all that happens is they sit down opposite more Vivi players or people that are designed to beat Vivi, then tough tits. That's part of being involved in a metagame. That's part of being a competitive player. What I don't agree with is November comes and goes and you patchwork the format and you say, oh, but it's an emergency ban window. We can only ban one thing. That's not good enough. That's not a good reason to go, oh, well, instead of fixing this format and taking the short-term hit of maybe some people go, oh, but I bought Mono Red because Vivi was obviously going to be banned.
That's cool. Mono Red's £100 hit. Like, you're good.
But it's not even financial, right? It's the effort that you need to put into acquire cards, especially nowadays, where all people open is collector boosters. So if you want to get standard art non-foil cards, good luck. But it's like, shout out Sarge, he's got 4 Riddlers. They're all different. He's got a normal one, a Planeswalker symbol stamp one, a foil Planeswalker symbol stamp one, and an alt art. They're horrific, and he loves them. But there is no reason to let this format suffer for another year.
No,
just
exactly.
Because you're not willing to ban 6 cards come November, when realistically they need to shoot Vivi firmly in the head. We've all played the decks. We've all seen the joke now. They need to take Vivi or Cauldron. I'd say probably Cauldron for, like, Vivi's a UB character. Let people play with it. It being cast for 3 mana is, like, very powerful but not problematic, probably. take profits as well. Take that out. It's just way too bloody good. Stop rewarding people for drawing cards, and then you need to take like Hired Claw at least.
Yeah. Hired Claw. I think
Hired Claw or Nemesis.
Yeah, and I think you do that and then just keep the mouse package, because I think like the whole Boros Mice has kind of shown itself up as a good standard deck, but not an unbeatable standard deck.
You want all the decks right now that are like, oh, you're playing that. That's not weird, but like, why are you not playing Mono Red or Vivi? We want the format to be those decks. We want blue green, Uraboroid, or whatever the hell it was that you played. You want stuff like that where it's just power level, and it's actually playing a 4-drop. How exciting!
It's playing a 4-drop where like you play the 4-drop, you win as well. Like it's kind of and you want it to sort of like, but that
also shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't just be this 4-drop just wins the game.
Yeah, but it wins if you've managed to fight out the board state and stick a few 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drops and establish. You don't just drop the 4-drop and win the whole thing. Or like
Fatal Push should have been in Foundations, man. We need like better removal. When one of the best removal spells in the format is Into the Floodmoor, you're just going to have problems with your format, especially when you're printing threats as good as they currently print.
That's a one for the poll, and that's a one for the Power Creep poll. Is let's run a standard. That's what a standard night where we allow Fatal Push to be legal, and just to see what people build, see what people bring. And
what I will say from Power Creep episode 1, shout out to the people that have already watched it. If you haven't, go watch it. Fatal Push does not kill a Quantum Riddler.
That is true. That is true.
And that is a problem.
Shoot the Sheriff does, though. Make sure you are able to get out to play paper. You can come join us still on the 9th of November in Cardiff for the final one of the season, where hopefully we'll be all in a place where we can get a bit of a show going if you are looking to come down.
It is unlikely that I'm going to be playing. So.
We'll either be burnt out from Liverpool or just like ready for the bans. But bans aside, Magic is still getting played. Hope everything's. If you let us know on all of the socials, you've got Instagram. There is a TikTok now, which we are booting up, getting that through into the algorithm. You should obviously see the YouTube is now changed. And also on the YouTube, as this episode goes out, we're going to be dropping a poll about the next episodes of Power Creep. We're going to film a couple at a time, so vote for there on things you'd like to see. Matchups we're going to be putting up against each other. Even put in the comments anything you think, hey, that's cool. Let's go and see what that looks like. Thank you very much for the support on episode 1. Really, really great numbers. Magic is cool right now, but standard could be better. Let's hope for New York Block Constructed when we come back next week, having its official recognition. Gavin and the team, you know what you need to do. Hook them up. Hook us up with the Get Your Deck Out Invitational as well. That is a thing. That is a thing you need to help us with. Support, advise, and
please.
We'll send you Welsh cakes. You know they're good.
We'll send you stickers.
And stickers. And a t-shirt. T-shirts coming soon. Stickers all the way. Go forth, get your deck out, everyone. Have a great Magic week. We'll see you on the other side. See you in the next one.
Go forth and get your deck out. I like that.
Yeah, because it's an added play on the play.
Go forth and multiply.
Like I've even been saying it to people on Card Market. I like when like you just send them the message or whatever, and how like Royal Mail's crap, and like they'll have actually delivered it like 4 days ago, but like they've still not updated the signpost. I chased up a guy today. He's like, oh yeah, sorry mate, forgot to take it. Like put it, like ticked it off. And I just replied and went, awesome, go forth and get your deck out. And he just sent me back a smiley face. And I was just like, right, one of two things. He either thought I was just taking a piss, or he watches the podcast and that was funny. But all I say is, within about 10 minutes we sent in our message, we had another subscriber on YouTube. So I was like, there we go. It's all good. That was cool. I like that episode. I thought